welcome, or welcome back. As you've probably seen from where I currently am, I am just about ready. I probably could have used those to blow up the ender crystals, but I am just about ready to go into the end and kill the dragon. Not sure if there's any more preparation I can do other than just going in. I didn't see any comments about bringing the dogs into the end, so I'm just gonna assume that it's not important enough. But with that out of the way, let me just hop in. Don't even have to dig. That is nice. If I can hit that. There we go. And it should be fine now. Oh, I really need to practice with this bow. Maybe by hitting that thing, if the Enderman would get out of the way. I think I got it. Not sure if this works, but I can just do that. I don't think that was necessary. Yeah, I just aggroed an Enderman. That's not ideal. And there's one left on the very far side of the map. Oh, okay, there's none left. Can just shoot him. I think I have power 4, so this shouldn't take all that long. That's some good damage there. Like the last one, the Ender Dragon really does not stand a chance with this armor. It's perching again, that's a mistake. Okay, I can kill him like this, and then... Okay, I just have to hope that that's a good screenshot. Let me just check that. Alright, it is actually a pretty good screenshot, so I can just continue. I mean, I wouldn't really have a choice if it was a bad screenshot, it's just oh well. I can get the dragon egg. I'll just leave it here and get it on the way back because I'm already struggling on inventory space. So let me just miss the pearl. So let me just block up. As efficiently as possible. Okay. I have not tried that very much before. I'm surprised I made it that far. I'm sure my mouse was very loud. I'm not really seeing anything from here. Now might be a good time to turn off the shaders and boost my render distance slightly. Although how laggy is it with shaders in 32 render distance? My FPS did not change. I guess I remember that happening because there's not really all that much to load in the end. Although now I'm out of blocks and don't really have an obvious direction to be going. So I'll just get back to you once I pick up like a stack or two of endstone. I'm sure I cut that out, but I almost just said a stack or two of endermites. Not sure why. And now's a good time to just realize this, but I completely forgot to double check that I was recording before starting the fight. That would have been a bit of a shame. I mean, at that point, I would have just gone to the overworld and summoned the dragon again with end crystals. And now is probably my least favorite part of doing a hardcore world. I have zero faith in my keyboard's ability to function, so this could go poorly. And unlike last time, I am not even going to bother with making a fancy bridge because it really doesn't matter. I'm going to be flying back, so I can just use pearls. And it's probably much safer to use pearls. And I did forget to take the boat out of my inventory, so that at least makes them much more convenient to get. Now I'm sure if I left Distant Horizons in my mod pack, then that would almost be cheating, because I would just be able to see it immediately, but I'm still not seeing anything. And it looks like I'm gonna have to bridge again. I mean, I could just pearl twice, but that's a bit of a waste. At At least I'm finding plenty of gateway portals, so if I do find a city nearby, I won't have to fly too far, because durability was a bit of a problem on Elytras when you're not using villagers especially. That is not a gap I feel comfortable purling across. I'll just have to do this. I've not held down the shift key harder in my life. Oh, that's not good. Okay, well that's convenient. I was a little worried, and then he just ran right into the boat. I'm honestly surprised I haven't seen anything yet with this render distance. I don't know how long I've been traveling for, but definitely seen a lot. And I don't know if that continues, but I might just have to get some blocks, because I'm running out of land here. I think I can make that pearl. Yeah, definitely can. I think I see a end city in the distance. Not a very big one. That definitely does not have a ship. That's a bit of a shame. And I forgot to bring wood, so I won't be able to craft any shulker boxes while I'm there. So that might be a problem, although it's not going to be a problem if I don't find any loot. That Enderman just pushed me into the other one. That's not nearly enough blocks. And 17 also probably isn't nearly enough blocks, but that's all I brought. Okay, that's annoyingly close. I could have just brought like 20. Now I kind of gotta decide. I highly doubt I can make that pearl. Not really sure what the best play here is. I'm gonna get another pearl so I can teleport to one of the other islands. And a couple more blocks. Half a stack should be more than enough. And I was planning on just going down here. Okay, I thought that pearl just hit the Enderman, so into the abyss. Okay, just not just for you, but for me, I'm going to turn hostile creatures down to like 3%, because whoever was in charge of the sounds really did not think the Enderman through. Pretty sure Vanilla Tweaks has something that turns Enderman sounds down, so should probably get that. What am I being hit by? Oh. Okay. Just hid. Every time I looked around or went in F5, he probably teleported away. Broke my helmet as well. So, onto the iron one. I think I'm gonna try something out here. Just teleporting up and then placing some blocks like that. And I guess teleporting up again, although I don't really have a good angle to throw this. Steal some of these stairs and break my way in. Surprised I didn't get hit once there. That was quite a bit of shulkers. And Fire Spect 2 on Breaking 3. I am in need of a new sword. Prop 4 Mending Chestplate. Okay. Bane of Arthropods 5 Knockback 2 Iron Sword. I don't think I could have picked two worse enchantments. But now that I got a couple of decent items, I just have to continue again. I'm gonna go till I find an Elytra, and then probably in the next one or the one after that, I'm just gonna go and loot a ton of end cities because my armor really is not looking too good, and you usually find pretty good enchantments, and when you're not using villagers, that really matters. I don't have any ender pearls. Okay, that was dangerous bridging up there without any. I mean, assuming I can react quick enough to throw a pearl if I need one. I don't know what's going on, but when an Enderman is in a boat and I get hit by it, I sometimes get knocked towards the boat, and it's making me think there's something behind me. I don't know if that's a bug or what, but something to note. That is slightly out of reach, but I think that's enough. I probably could have just pearled without placing the extra blocks, but might as well be safe. And that is an end ship. Let me just get a little closer. Okay. I I was hearing Enderman noises, that is why. Just do the boat strategy if he gives me a little bit of space. Okay, if he goes in the boat, that would kind of help with the strategy. Okay, probably don't need the water for this. Only needed the water because I was screwing around with the boat. Should have just stabbed him. I'm gonna need another pearl to cross that gap, but there is the end ship. Also gonna need some more blocks to get up there. So I'm just gonna get a stack. That should be enough. Just pearl over there. And I'm gonna go after the elytra first, and then I'll just fly around and loot all the rooms. I don't really have a need for too many shulker shells just yet, because I don't have looting, so it's not really even worth it. Very close. Hope that lands. Nice. Another interesting diamond chestplate. Fire protection isn't all that helpful. Curse of Vanishing doesn't really matter because it's a hardcore playthrough, but here's an elytra. Let me just get a screenshot up here, and maybe I'll try posting this to the community page. Okay. Maybe one where I don't get hit by one of these shulker things. What are the shulker projectiles called? Not really sure. Doesn't really matter all that much. Just never really thought about it. Curse of Binding leggings, that's not really helpful. And that might be the one loot room in this entire city, so might be able to just head back now. Although I could get like one more city now that I have an elytra. It shouldn't be too difficult, and considering how far I had to go for these first two, I think I might be due for finding an easy end city, maybe. But I have just run into some of these gateways, so I'm just gonna go in. There's not really much point in me doing anything else. One of the next episodes is gonna be dedicated to looting them. Again, I'm going to skip the credits. Don't really need to see them. Don't know where I am. I forgot to set my spawn back at base. I think this is the world spawn. I just realized there is a village there. But where I want to be is at -100, -800 maybe? I know it's 100, 800, but I don't know which one is negative, so this could take a while. Hopefully not. But the very nice, very useful pillar. And my game is running surprisingly smooth with shaders and 32 chunks. I'm not going to keep it like this because I'd rather just give my GPU a break, but that is interesting. Not really sure what I'm going to be doing with these levels, because I should just find a ton of useful armor pieces while looting end cities. So there's not too much of a point in me enchanting anything. I mean, maybe a bow, just to get the last couple of enchantments. Although for that I should probably wait till this is low durability so I can do two things at once. But now that I've gotten my inventory cleared out, I have a decent idea for what I want to do for the last 10 minutes or so of the video. Or on my side, it's probably like the last 2 or 3. I should probably check how much I have in my chests, but I'm looking for ghast tears. I have 3, so I just need 1 more. That is convenient. Also, while I'm in the nether, I'm obviously not going to do it now, but I would like to get some netherite at some point. I never really got to do it in my other world. I'm thinking I'm just going to run around and loot like 50 bastions for it, because just digging around isn't going to make an interesting video. Or be interesting to play. So there is the 4th ghast tier, so I can just head back. Maybe I can get a 5th one. I can't, but extra gunpowder is always nice. I'm going to be burning through quite a bit of it, and I should also probably start setting up at least a manual sugarcane farm. He just tried to escape. I mean, maybe I can let him out. I'm obviously not going to let him free, but, you know, just a little bit of air probably won't hurt. I forgot what I was looking for. A fence, probably. I was going to do something else as well. Oh yeah, set up the sugarcane farm. His escape attempt might have distracted me a little bit. I'm really going to need to set up some more of these slabs. This is not going to work. I guess I can just go get those. I have 3 slabs. That's very nice. And that should do for now. I am probably going to need an automatic one in the future if I'm going to make a gunpowder farm, which I probably am, but don't need that just yet. And I'll also let this guy chill with the animals, maybe the sheep. Although, does he eat sheep? I don't remember what foxes eat. I'm just gonna bring him back inside. Maybe with the horse. I think that's a better idea. Hopefully no polar bears get him. That would be a shame. What is the recipe for an end crystal? Eyes vendor. Didn't know it needed that. I do not have any ender pearls, but I can just bring in a crafting table and kill enderman while I'm there. I don't have enough blaze powder. And blaze rod first try. Actually, I didn't even need to go back into the overworld. I can just fly to my other nether portal. This is also a good opportunity to check if I actually know where it is. I think it's just down in here, and it is. There we go, that is 4 ender pearls. I didn't bring any glass. Good thing I thought ahead. Do I even have any glass? I do not. I have 16 sand though, so I can smelt that. I think I'm just gonna enchant a couple of items, see what I can get. Knockback 2, punch 1, sharpness 3. It's not ideal. Maybe unbreaking 2. I guess sweeping 3 isn't terrible. And power 4. Maybe I can pick up a smite sword while I'm here. Maybe not having knockback 2 would have been nice. And I really don't want to be wasting these levels, so I think I'm gonna head down to the mines and hopefully find some more lapis. There we go. Hopefully that's not just one piece. That was just one piece. It looks like there's plenty over here. I'm probably gonna try and not go to sleep just to get some phantoms to spawn in, because I'm probably going to need some phantom membrane to repair the elytra. Hopefully that is enough glass. That is not enough glass. Probably just gonna cut out most of it, although that is punch 2. And power 4, so I don't have to do anything except combine these two. And that is a maxed out bow. But now that I've gotten all 4 end crystals, that took more time than I thought it would. I can grab some of this while I'm here, just for some observers. Might be thinking a little bit too far ahead grabbing those, but I'm sure I'll be glad I have them. Something I find interesting, the totem in my offhand is reflecting the pink bit in the middle of the end crystal, and that looks pretty interesting. There we go. I can probably just cheat here and use the elytra while flying around and get quite a few of them. Please. That was like 12 attempts. Okay, I'm just gonna fly up there. I don't care if it uses my totem. I don't really want it to use my totem, but maybe if I just do this. There we go. And that is all of the crystals. Chase him around with the bow. And not get myself killed. That would probably help with the hardcore world. Chasing him around with an elytra is probably a waste of rockets. Because I can just hit him from the ground here. Unless he flies that high up, it kind of hurts my accuracy. And there we go. He wants to die, maybe sometime. Like that. While that's in the background. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.